Hey everyone, this is Bhadra from Potion Fitness, and today we're going to talk about fasting and what's the difference between fasting and intermittent fasting. Who can fast, who shouldn't, what are the rules around fasting, how often should you fast, and pretty much everything about fasting. Just like we have changed diet and classical dance forms and yoga, reduced it and oversimplified it just to methods of weight loss, we have reduced fasting also into another method of weight loss, and we call it intermittent fasting. But fasting and intermittent fasting are not the same. Why? Because fasting is not just abstaining from food. Fasting is restricting yourself from food, thoughts, deeds, and also your words. Intermittent fasting is just voluntary restriction of food for several hours a day and for longer periods, continuing like that, just for weight loss. Fasting, the way it was done traditionally, was focused more on the physical, mental, and also spiritual energies. And how do we improve that? When we are restricting our food, thoughts, words, and deeds, and withdrawing our senses from the outer world and focusing more on our inner self, we are also reducing our stress levels, and we are focusing more on a scripture or something else that's going to elevate us spiritually. But when we are doing the same thing on an intermittent fasting, we are not focusing on anything else. We are not even just being mindful, we are just looking at the time. Okay, this is 18 hours or this is 22 hours that I'm gonna get done with this, and then after that is my eating window. That's the only thing that we are thinking about. And we are continuing with our normal routine, be it working or taking care of the household chores or taking care of children. Our stress levels or mindfulness is not changing. Now what happens with this is that when you're not on food, when we are not eating for longer periods, our blood sugar levels drop. Now when the blood sugar levels drop and when the stress levels are higher, it is a perfect combination for insulin resistance. Now insulin resistance, as you know, is the hallmark sign in pretty much all of the lifestyle diseases that we have these days, right from thyroid issues to PCOS to cardiac issues, hypertension, name it, any lifestyle disease, it is insulin resistance that's behind that. Traditionally, if you look at fasting, we never did that for several days together, just looking at weight loss. It's periodically done either once a week or once in 2 weeks or particular days of a month or certain weeks of a year, be it Lent or Hanukkah or during Ramadan or the Monday fasting or Shashti, Chaturthi, whatever you take it. It's not done for several days at a stretch, just looking at weight loss. Another thing that we don't realize is that when we are carrying out intermittent fasting and doing our normal routine, we need a lot of energy to do all of that. And when the sugar levels are low because we have not eaten in longer periods, our body will make up the blood sugar levels higher to keep up with our work. And the easiest way your body can make blood sugar is by breaking down your muscle. And that's also one of the reasons, if you look at studies that talk about intermittent fasting, you must have seen that a lot of people, they lose a lot of muscle mass. And that is also one of the reasons why people see tremendous weight loss when they are in intermittent fasting. But losing muscle is a bad news. When you lose muscle, you don't just go down on your weight, but also on your metabolism and your health. There are these rules around fasting which most of us don't know. We are not supposed to be eating meat or heavy food, consume stimulants, or indulge in any sexual activity, work out, use abusive or bad language, get angry, etc. on the day of fasting and the day before and after fasting as well. We don't follow any of these when you're doing intermittent fasting. Most people who are on intermittent fasting go on either black coffee or green tea through their fasting window and they feel that it's okay because you're not having sugar or milk, which is going to spike your insulin. But they don't realize it's not just about spiking insulin. When your body is already on low sugar levels and it is on a sustenance mode, using a stimulant is actually going to cause problem with your adrenals on a long term, and that is not good news. Fasting is not something that everyone should do or everyone can do. So people who have issues like thyroid imbalances, who have constipation, acidity, IBS, blood sugar imbalances, be it low blood sugar or diabetes, hypertension, etc., shouldn't be fasting for longer periods. Needless to say that people who are pretty old or feeling very weak or pregnant shouldn't be fasting at all. So when is fasting okay? If you're not hungry, if you're feeling bloated, just skipping a meal or two is fine to just get back to your hunger and appetite. But staying away from food and not eating voluntarily when you are hungry and ignoring your hunger signs is not a good idea. Even better is to have an early dinner sometime around 6 or 7 p.m. and then going to bed closer to 10 p.m. will make sure that you digest your food better, and you also give enough time for your body to recover, repair, and rejuvenate yourself. Do not allow the diet industry, weight loss industry, and the social media influencers make you believe that weight loss or getting into your old genes or getting into a better shape is the only thing that we should focus on. Focus on improving your health, the physical, mental, and spiritual health. See you next time in yet another interesting video, and if you are interested to know more about health and fitness, you can comment the topic below and I can do a video on that. If you're interested in working with me, check out my programs on my website, potionfitness.com.